this is Kevin Namunwa here, and from CIO Africa. And once again, it's another year and another winner of the big award. So we are here to have a conversation and really know who this guy is. The 2024 CIO of the Year. This is like the hottest guy in time right now. Without any further ado, karibu sana, Geoffrey.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So, how do you feel right now? How do you feel today?
Wow, pumped up, excited.
Yeah.
Also trying to take my breath and appreciate each day.
Yeah. And it was a big award. Congratulations, by the way. In Naivasha, it was such an epic night, and I'm sure you had fun. So after scooping that big award, I'm sure a lot of people are asking who is Gigi? Who is this guy who's just coming from nowhere and taking the big thing? So how would you describe yourself? Huh?
So I started my career around 18 years ago. Started at a company called Virtual City. So innovation was our bread and butter at Virtual City, and helped me interact with a lot of industries, and also meet a lot of different players in the industry on how they approach solutions and how they implement solutions, both from a business point of view and from a technology point of view. After Virtual City, I indulged a bit in oil and gas at Technicolour Oil. So after that, and having appreciation of what they do and the kind of processes they undergo, I went back to Virtual City because that really was my passion for innovation. Then in 2014, I moved to healthcare, and I saw the opportunity that I had in also advancing my career. So 10 years ago, I started my career at healthcare, and I've been here since then. And it's been a journey, and it's been quite beautiful. So that being said, I'm also a tech enthusiast, because you can imagine. I like tech, I breathe tech, and a lot of what I do is around tech. So over and above that, my social life, I like doing a lot of social activities. I'm one of the founding member of a car group called Mitsubishi Owners Club. Yeah, I recently started playing golf. And I think I should have started with this. I'm a family man. Recently a father to a very beautiful girl. Yes, and also a husband to one. Yes, in a nutshell.
Switching. You should have started with that. You really should have started with that. Okay, so maybe just talk me through that night when you heard Charles saying your name, and what was going on through your mind when he was opening the envelope. Did it occur to you that maybe it could be your name? What was going on through your mind at that time?
Let me go back to how the day started.
Yeah.
The day started with me just looking forward to meeting the other tech leaders, learning more from them, and really engaging them. On the night, I was really geared to making sure that at least we get a few awards for at least the sector awards and a few other projects we had been nominated for. So as you can imagine, our team was one of the loudest because we were excited being there, first of all. And then Charles went on stage, did the announcement. Then I saw myself top 3. And somehow everything froze. And before I realized it, I noticed Charles has just mentioned my name. And then my picture came on the big screen. I was like, oh my goodness, that is big. And I can say a bunch of emotions came through. I looked back at my team and I was like, yeah, this is what we have been working hard for. This is what it has been all about. And I think after that, a lot of emotions, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of celebration. It was, I think I can put it at the top of one of the best nights of my life. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And also everyone was around you. I remember even just trying to get a hold of you that night was very difficult. And it, I could only imagine how you felt that night. So apart from this award, this is the latest award, and you've been in healthcare for 10 years. You said so this entire time you've been at Avenue for the 10 years. Okay. So apart from this award, do you have any previous awards that are or accomplishments that you are really proud of?
Most of my accomplishments around tech will be also participating in making sure that the new technologies, I'm involved in various spaces whereby we come in and discuss technology, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's healthcare tech, whether it's AI and data analytics. I'm always in the front making sure that most of these technologies just don't go unmentioned. And making sure people have the social community that people need to grow in this tech. The beautiful thing about tech is you just need to have the passion to be able to grow in this. So I've been involved in most of these societies and making sure that I guide the people who are interested in these spaces can participate. In terms of awards, well, I can say I've not participated in many awards, but like for example, for the award night,
Yeah.
I actually met a lot of people, and I can resonate with them. Like, I know this one from this space, I know this one from this space, because I'm always active making sure that everybody is being well represented wherever their passions are.
Yeah. So it was this is your first major award, and
This is my first major award.
oh wow, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And you talked about how your team reacted when they heard your name, and you also actually won the healthcare sector award. So how important maybe is your team in this in this entire journey, and not just with the project, but I know I imagine it's a long journey for the entire time you've been here. How crucial is your team, and how important are they to you and to the company?
Yeah, so I can say one of my proud moments when it comes to the team is I've been able to ensure that my team can communicate to me whether they're succeeding or whether they're failing, right? So a while back when we started these big projects, we were given a challenge, and we got new team members in the team, and the forming, norming, and storming part of it, I was impressed. I was expecting a bit of resistance, a bit of in what do you call it?
Like a bit of hurdles.
Yes, a bit of hurdles, but it was like we were old friends. It was like people accepted both the old team and the new team. Everybody accepted each other, and it was like we do this every day. It's like this is how we live. This is what we do for a living. And I was so impressed by the team that when we accomplished some of the milestones and we reflected of how quickly we moved, we really could not say that we need to go back and review something that we had given to somebody. It was all about we moved forward, and everybody was giving input, and everybody was taking up the critique and the accomplishments and moving forward very quickly. I was so impressed, and I can say this is the highlight of some of the things I can say have been years on years of building.
Yeah, and the teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, and you've talked about there's something you mentioned when you talked about your team and how you communicate with them. They tell you if something is succeeding or if something is failing, which brings me now to my next point. And in life, there are wins and there are losses as well. There are projects that are successful and there are projects that are not so successful. So do you have any experience in a project that you worked on and maybe you didn't achieve what you had set out to achieve? And how do you take ownership of that, and how do you move forward from such a scenario?
Thank you for that. I think the world is obsessed with success, and we rarely take time to reflect on what didn't work and why it didn't work. comes to mind my obsession with the Concorde jet. And yes, I also had a Concorde jet project, which we aptly named Project Pambazuka, Dare to Dream. So we are going to deploy this big technology in this same organization. We had backing from senior management, funding, everything. As we moved on to the project and analyzing every aspect of it and where it was going to impact, we slowly realized that it will impact negatively on our user experience, which translates to our patient experience, which translates to our revenues. So we are very, can I say, customer experience obsessed in this organization.
You put the patients first, you put the customers first.
We really had to make a hard decision to say, this is not the direction that we want to move. Yes, the technology is next level. It is exactly on paper, this is what we need, but we need to put a stop to this because it's going to impact on our patients negatively. And it's not on their patient care, it's on their experience. So we sat down and agreed, but the one question was, this project was to open up so many things for the organization, so many opportunities. So how am I still going to accomplish this? Because abandoning the project or leaving the project doesn't mean we abandon our vision.
Yeah, and so you've already invested in it.
Yeah. So we took stock of what we had, and some of these projects that we are accomplishing or coming to close to right now are some of the objectives that we had originally aimed to achieve. And I can say, giving the organization the assurance that we can still be able to accomplish this was one of the key things I had to really work hard in making sure that I can give them the assurance that what you have invested has not gone to waste. We can still recoup it, we can still regroup, and we can still give the patients what they deserve.
So did the Pambazuka project ever go to pilot stage? Or?
We went close to pilot, but that's when we started realizing where the drawbacks will be.
With the user experience?
Yes.
Okay, so now I myself was, I think, lucky enough to be in the room when you were doing your case study presentation about the service kiosks. So maybe, and this is also your winning project, maybe you could tell us more about this project. Why did you come up with this project, and which challenges were you looking to solve, and just the journey through it?
As I said, we are customer obsessed. Pambazuka was supposed to deliver a great customer experience. So we took stock and looked at, so what have we achieved so far, and how can we now unlock this patient experience and take it to the next level? So our CEO, Mr. Imran Osman, came and challenged us. So we wanted to do this. We had this big budget, but how can we achieve it with what we have right now? And what I can say is we started analyzing how our patients interact with us. And we realized that we have a very near perfect process for patient registration, creating the visit, and making sure they move to the next step. So we decided, let's automate that one, right? So how do you first automate it without a lot of distractions? So we decided, let's create an interface for the patient to interact with. Yeah. So the kiosk was born. And from the first minimum viable product and that we interacted with, it has been sprint after sprint of success because we finally put the patient first in a process. Yeah. So most businesses, you'll find they look at their internal processes and see where they're going to plug in their clients. For us, we looked at the client and how the client is interacting with us. And then that's how we managed to get the kiosk to where it is right now.
Okay. So what kind of technologies did you employ? Maybe what kind of emerging technologies have you leveraged in this kiosk project?
So the kiosk project, number one, it's operating on a hybrid architecture. So our core system, which resides on our servers here, but the other part is on the cloud. So the part that is on the cloud is a queue management system at the back end of it. So one of the things we asked ourselves, how do we marry these two? So we first of all created, can we call it a bridge, an API interface, which we had to build some security layer to it. We added a web application firewall. And then the next thing we did was we decided now for these two systems to talk, we are going to use containerization technologies such that whenever we need to change something or whenever we need to improve one aspect of something, we are not redesigning entire solutions. So these technologies have helped us accelerate and create a DevOps pipeline. So the cloud technology is being run by our partners in India. They're called Xamarin. And the DevOps pipeline has been miraculous for us because we are now able to move very quickly, and whichever changes we decide to make per location or per process, we can make it without impacting the entire system.
Okay, yeah. And you've talked a little bit about your tech vendors from India. So also, how crucial, you've talked also the importance of the team, and talking of the team, it also includes also the vendors, your suppliers of technology. How important were they in the realization of this project? And I'm sure they've played a big role in also getting this recognition and getting this award at the end.
Our vendors, I'll speak about the India team. They're called Xamarin. One of the things we loved about them is that they were able to listen, and they were willing to listen to what our needs were. They were able to start integrating both with our systems and making some few changes to their system to accommodate us. So the support was immense. To some level, we had a bit of hardware upgrades being done to help making sure that we have a lot of reliability. So our stack is really running on, our core network is running on Fortinet. Our core servers is running on HP, supported by virtualization technology under VMware. So we really had to engage these people to make sure that this system has minimal downtime and high performance. So we really engaged with our vendors to make sure that what we're delivering to the patient or the client is something that will have a very big impact to the experience. So we're not going back and forth between technologies. We make sure that we have encompassed and included everybody in the process.
Okay. So now, how about your now internal partnerships? Not partnership, but relationships with other departments as well. How do you manage these relationships with your CEO and other members of the C-suite and ensure that they are on board in any of the projects that you are doing? And also, how do you also support their projects? Because I know they also have things that they are trying to bring up to improve the company.
As I said, customer obsession is so core to our business. So for the project, the only thing we had to demonstrate was how we're improving the customer experience. And with that, we also started seeing how it will impact our revenues, how it will impact our image out there. Yeah. So it was easy to get the buy-in from them because they're like, yes, this is what we want people to see and experience from us. So when we did our first, pilot with them, and they all got excited because they're like, yes, this is what I want my client to experience when they get to the hospital. I don't want them to come in and say, oh, the reception was delaying, there was this, there was that. I want my patient to come and say, I was quickly served, I quickly accessed services, and they really came in on board and started now giving input. So after the first pilot, the improvements really came from them, and they were really supportive of the project.
Yeah, because they're also looking at it from other angles and also with their experiences in the different departments. So maybe then, as you've been in the healthcare sector for about 10 years, and it keeps evolving, and technology as well keeps evolving. So maybe personally, how do you keep up with how do you stay ahead of the curve? How do you keep up with the technology? How do you know which technology to use? How How do you go around about that? How do you stay ahead of the curve? To be also the first person even from the healthcare sector to grab the big award, I'm sure it's...
As I said, I'm a tech enthusiast, and always ensuring that whichever new tech comes out, I learn something about it. I'm obsessed with how things work. I like knowing how what's the basics of how things work. So yes, there is a lot of reading. Luckily, in this modern day age of Google being able to profile you and see this is the kind of content you like, so they keep dumping this on you. But also engaging with other leaders. I like engaging people from a point of curiosity and learning, and just to understand what have you seen out there, because right now tech changes so quickly. You sit down and focus on one thing. By the time you'll bring your head up, somebody else has done something, and it's so amazing that we are able to keep up with most of this tech and able to adapt it. So my key way of learning is, number one, through others. Number two, whatever I can understand and grasp, I now dig deeper and start understanding, how does this work? How do I relate to this? And if there's a potential, how do I implement this in my organization or even sometimes in my personal life? And to me, that's how tech should be treated. I know a lot of people fear what they don't understand, but embracing tech is something that by now I think is so universal that I think everybody should have a bit of tech curiosity in them.
It's either you come on board, it's either you join the bandwagon or you're left behind, because everyone is innovating through technology.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah, okay. So talking of how technology is developing fast, and we are seeing a lot of emerging technologies. People talk about AI today. There's the likes of edge computing, IoTs. So in this long list of new emerging technologies, maybe do you have a favorite? Do you have something that you find most interesting in terms of what it can do, and and why?
I'll stick to AI. It's no longer a fad. I know they're talking about when the hype disappears, but I think in the last 2 years the hype has not disappeared. So yeah. So and I'll speak on something we're also doing internally, which is computer vision, AI-enabled computer vision. So just from a layman's, this is what Tesla is doing with its autonomous robots and driving cars. So for us, we are adapting it for our patient care. So I think what computer vision AI is doing, it's helping us kind of declutter our interaction with systems. So the AI vision can see what we are doing, and then it interprets to data. So what does this leave us doing? Especially in healthcare, it gives us the human-to-human point of care. So you can imagine if a patient, you're tending to a patient, asking the patient, where are you? Aching, yes, what are your symptoms? Then they tell you, then you have to turn and then key it in. Now imagine, as you're talking to the patient, something else, the computer is recording. So this is what AI vision has enabled us to do. So it's able to check the vitals, because we have systems that check on the vitals for patients. So it checks on that and helps us do the recording. So that leaves our patient attendants or patient caregivers to have more, to give the patient more attention and understand how to better treat this patient. And now, since now this data is now recorded in digital format, it can be analyzed, and I think the next level of this is being able to give better clinical guidance, better clinical safety, and clinical pathways. This is being able to give a pathway for if this is the disease, from data analyzed, this is the best way to treat it. And I think this is going to be the biggest thing that will come out of healthcare.
So you're also coming for the title again next year with that project?
Yes.
Okay, because now a lot of people are incorporating AI. And now what do you see maybe are other opportunities in the healthcare sector as well for other CIOs? I'm sure when you were doing the case study presentations, you were there with Samuel and Shiraz from Mpisha, and I'm sure you have time and you discuss. And what do you see as the future opportunities that CIOs needs to grab? CIOs in the healthcare sector.
For CIOs in the healthcare sector, I think we should continue exploring, and I sound like a broken record when I say AI, because now in AI we have predictive disease patterns, being able to take your data and making sure that you start understanding the kind of patients you have, the kind of diseases you're treating. And with AI, it will help you now understand how to manage this better, from being able to manage your drugs, how you order your drugs, how you manage your resources. The other big opportunity there is, especially for CIOs in hospitals, is being able to do a lot of automations. So hospitals have perfected the part of making sure a patient moves from point A to point B. Yeah. So yes. So there's a lot of opportunities to making sure that we are able to automate that, such a way we get a better patient experience, and maybe reduce the wait times. Yeah. So we in hospital, we say our clients do not really want to be there. Nobody wakes up and says, next week I'll go to hospital and check it out. No. They don't want to be there. So the better experience we give them, I think we're giving back to, it's kind of like giving back to the community.
Okay, yeah. So now let's now talk a little bit about when you are not talking technology, when you are not here, when you're not working, what do you do? We all have something we do to, take our minds off the work, yeah? Because from Monday, you can imagine. So what's your poison? Is that your poison? What do you do to take your mind off
work? For the longest time, I think I've been stuck in this tech space, and I've revolved my entire life around tech. So it's no surprise when I say gaming is one of my little pet habits that I like doing, just being able to zone out, play a game on my console. The other part is also, it's going to sound like a broken record, just also looking at the new gadgets, CES events, seeing what's happening, what new innovations are going out in the world. So this helped me declutter. So on the social aspect, as I said, I'm one of the founders of Mitsubishi Owners Club. So if you'll most likely spot a Mitsubishi car with a sticker at the back written MOC. So I've been part of that group since inception. And
how many members does it have right now?
I think we are now close to 300 listed members. But we like saying active members, which is, as anybody can understand, with any society, we have listed and active members. So the active members, I can say they're around 150 thereabout. And what amazes me about this group is we grew from a commonality, which is being we own cars, to now we have pockets of friends who can swear we are almost like lifelong friends. If you meet us, we really interact like we have known each other since childhood. And these are the kind of societies I like building. As I said, from my tech background, the other societies, whether cybersecurity, analytics, I like being involved in those spaces and try to build families out of them. Because once you gather two or three people who have something in common, slowly start creating small societies with, can I say, positive habits. Yeah, because other social engagements, you might end up being just passing time.
Yeah. And also you also mentioned that you recently started golfing, so that's something that maybe you can add to.
Yes, I started golfing last year. It's a very amazing game, because the amount of unlearning you have to do and a lot of discipline that you have to do to actually play it, it's actually amazing because when you watch it, when you watch the Tiger Woods and everybody play it, you're like, that looks quite simple. So the only thing you have to do is hit the ball hard.
It's a birdie.
So when you start doing this, you also start engaging with people, start learning some of the rules and how you actually hit the ball and the different tools that you use. And to me, it was really amazing because I never thought about the game in that particular manner. I always thought this is something people do just to...
You get there and you find out that there's like a whole other world that you didn't know about.
Yes. So it has prompted me to go like, okay, so what else have I been assuming from my tech space that is going on out there that I've not yet indulged in? And so I think in the coming year, I'll be engaging with a lot of social non-tech activities just to widen my field of experience with.
Yeah. So I think finally, just what drives GG every day? What is it when you wake up? What's the one thing that keeps you going?
Once again, like a broken record. Every day when you wake up, something new happens in tech. So today you'll wake up, cybersecurity, something new has happened. Hackers are doing something with AI, or some student in a dorm room somewhere in some Central Asian country has come up with a new revolution tech that is challenging decade-old technologies. And to me, I always wake up almost on a scrolling frenzy, trying to see what new thing has happened. And I think I get a small satisfaction just to see a snippet of this new technology that promises so much. And I think it's every tech's spark to live in the future now. Yeah. So if you meet any tech, they're almost like obsessed, frenzied about what's going to.
Yeah. When they see these technologies being launched, everyone is you get that kind of.
Yes. So they really want to be in the future. Yeah. So, but they want it now. I think that's where the adrenaline is, and no matter what time of day it is, we are always looking for that next high, and
you want to be involved as well. You want to bring that technology into your work and into everything that you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thank you. I think those are the questions I had for you today, and I really hope that after this interview, people will now know who GG is. And of course, this coming year, we'll be engaging with you a lot. We expect to see you at a lot of CIO events, in tech gatherings. And yeah, looking forward to engaging with you a lot more. And also, you have the project that you want to come and defend the title next year.
Yes, I'm lining up more projects. But as I can say, I hope that in the next coming year, in the next event, we'll see a lot of other beautiful projects, especially ones that look at serving our clients, especially right now in Kenya, whereby experience is king. Yeah, so most Kenyans, we are looking for that experience. I think we have, in every industry, there's a saturation of companies and at every corner. So now Kenyans are looking for which is the one that will give us the best experience. Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.
All right, that's it.
Thank you.